Alrighty then. Good morning. Happy Monday. Let's get this start to finish started. Okay. Thank you, Devlin, for popping on here today this morning. I know you have a meeting and several other stuff to do, so I really appreciate it. Okay. Today we're going to be working on Halloween icons, part 1. And what you can do with those Halloween icons. This is our project. Look at this beauty. Yes, most of the stuff that you see in today's tutorial will be put onto this card. Now, there are some new elements that are not in the old video. Now, to be realistic with you, the video that is on YouTube, not now, but it will be soon, doesn't have a lot of these elements. It's because it was done last year. So I added some new features for this year that you can apply to this card. So we have some bats, we have some gravestones, I added some stamping elements, and of course some more bats in the inside. Now I'm going to show you how I did the shading technique on this and the measurements to do on your Cricut. Now, these are the things you may need because I tend to change things as I go. I have a white touch pen. You can also use a gel pen. I have white pigment. In my previous, in this card right here, I couldn't find my white pigment. So I substituted it with this light green, but now that I found it, it's going to be a lot more concentrated, more visible. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. You're going to need some white ink. You're going to need some pop dots, which I am running out, and I need to go to the Dollar Tree to get some more. You'll need some black. I got several here on the off chance I make a mistake. I'm going to put that down here. I have some white, which I have some more white underneath. Some yellow, some scrap yellow. This is going to be my pattern paper that I'm going to use. You can use whatever pattern paper that you want. I just really like the way this looks. Very distressed. Has all the colors of Halloween, which I really like. And of course, I have more white, which I'm going to put down here so I do not lose. What else? Oh, you may need a scoring tool in order to fold your card, and this is of course the scoring tool that I'm going to be using for my Cricut. So I'm going to put that right over there, and let's get started. I'm going to leave this blank until it tells me which color I need first. Alrighty, look at all these beautiful spooky Halloween decor that I got going on here. What I did last year was this simple skeleton right here. This is the 2020 version right there. And of course, if you've seen my previous tutorial on how to make pumpkins, this is no different. I just changed the stems, gave you another option for stems. I have a coffin, 2 tombstones. This is the new 2020 version. And of course, I have some new bats. And I'm going to show you how to make the fence. Now, a lot of these items I'm going to be using in today's card. I was trying to get the fence on here. However, it was just too much. I didn't want to put too much layering on my card, so I opt not using it. So let's get started with the skeleton. I'm going to show you both forms. Where are you? There you are. Good job. So I'm just going to grab myself a circle and a square. Now this is going to be the most rudimentary one, the most simpler version. If you have like little tiny kids and you don't want to, scare them out of their minds, this is probably the safer bet. I will be doing a much more advanced skeleton. I'm going to be doing a bad to the bone, but that's for much later. Okay, so you're going to select both of these and weld. So far, so good. Grab myself a circle. And let's change the color to nice bony white. And our sockets here are going to be black. Now you can slice through these if you want. If you want, put this on a shirt or a onesie. You can totally slice, but for today's tutorial, I'm just layering them on top. And I'm going to, which one is it? Is it horizontally or vertically? Let's go with no, it was vertically. I always have a problem with that. I'm like, okay, there you go. And then I'm going to grab myself a tiny little triangle. And I'm just going to put it right here. So far, so good. Okay, I'm going to just grab myself a square. I'm going to elongate this just a little bit. Duplicate it. And then do it the opposite direction. And I'm just going to make a couple to symbolize the teeth. And I just want to make sure all of these are lined up properly. I mean, you could leave them going up and down. It's really up to you. Horizontally, yes. And weld. Now, if you find if it doesn't fit, all you have to do is just make it smaller. There we go. Easy peasy. You got your first skull. Now, if you want it a little bit more advanced for your 6-year-old or your 5-year-old, not a onesie kind of per se. you grab yourself a circle and you grab yourself 2 more. Now I'm going to put the cheekbones right here and right here. I want to make sure that these are aligned properly. Vertically, there we go. All right, I'm going to weld this. Good. Now I'm going to do the teeth. And these are a little more rounded, if you will. And they're going to be a little smaller than the cheekbones. There we go. And you kind of want to follow the curve of the circle. You don't want to put them straight. I mean, you could if you want to, but I find that if you go with the curvature of the skull, it looks a little better. Now, at this point, it kind of looks like an ice cream cone, which that's what gave me the original idea of hey, this actually looks like a skull. After putting, you know, several big and small of them together, I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like a skull. I'm going to use that for my next tutorial. So if you've seen my many ice cream tutorials, this is no different. Okay, now let's change this to white. Okay, and I did the same thing. All I did is just grab myself some circles. And you can put them as high or as low as you want. Now for the nose, I think I split it. Yes, I did. And what I did is I just grabbed myself a circle and flipped it. Perfect. Now I'm going to grab myself a square and I'm going to divide the circle in half. Now this is not going to separate it in any way like it normally does. All I'm doing is I'm just trying to give it a little divide within the nose. I want to make sure that this is in the center. You don't want one nostril bigger than the other unless that's what you're trying to go for. Okay, it's right in the center and slice. Take that out. Delete that. And there is my nose. All right. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between layering and, of course, slicing. So for slicing, you just select everything, weld, and it sees it as one layer. Once it sees it as one layer, highlight everything and slice. There you go. So if you wanted this to, if you had like a red shirt or a green shirt, it'll the color will come through. Now for the bottom of the mouth, all I really did, let's see, is it a square? Yeah, I did. Grabbed a square and a circle. Alrighty. And I converted the square into a rectangle. And you can make the bottom of the mouth as big or as small as you want. So I'm just going to grab some circles and I'm going to try to fit it into, one second, into this area right here. All right, that looks pretty good. Now if you find if it's too, oh, it didn't touch all the way to the end. There we go. If you find that it's too big, you can always make it smaller. And I find the bottom to be too big, so I'm just gonna scrunch it down just a little bit. There we go. That's the bottom of my mouth. Wow. I can see this on a card with a little swivel in the back and having the head just shake back and forth. That would be kind of cool. So there's an idea for you. So I'm just going to make this slightly smaller. Just like that. Next, I'm going to do the pumpkin. And these are pretty simple to do. You can do as many as you want. So grab yourself a circle, take it off the lock, and elongate it. Now all I'm doing is just, I want this one in the middle to be a little thicker. Let's move this in just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Take that one right there and weld. Okay, there's our pumpkin. Let's just change the color. There we go. And put this to the front. Now if you find that your pumpkin's just too wide, you don't like the shape of it, not a problem. Just highlight everything. Take it off the lock and make it the size that you want. That looks pretty good. There we go. There's my pumpkin. Now for the stem, all I'm going to do is just grab myself a square, make it like this, and tilt it just a little bit. Have it touch from point to point, just like that, and weld. Turn this green. Okay, and move this to the back. Now for my jack-o'-lantern, it's no different. I'm just going to cut and paste. Just like that. I'm going to take this top portion, turn this one yellow, and all I'm going to do is just grab the same elements that I have here for my face. And you know what? Let's get the teeth also. Not bad looking teeth. There we go. Oh, I grabbed more than I needed. Let's weld all of these together. There's my little face all on one layer. Let's move it up just a little bit. A little tiny bit. There we go. And slice. There we go. Now you just put that right on top and you grab yourself a jack-o'-lantern. Now if you find that it's just not fitting properly, just elongate it just a little bit. It's not going to make a whole heap of difference, especially if it's going to go on a card. Alright, so we have 2 skeletons, 2 pumpkins. Let's go with our coffin. And all I'm going to do is a pentagon tool. And after reviewing my my tutorial, I realized I can do this a lot simply. I just take it off the lock, elongate it. Now this is the simplest way I could have done it, and I didn't. But now that you see the start to finish, all you really need to do is slice. And you have yourself a coffin. I went the long way. I made 2. I mean, look at that. That was the simplest thing I could have done. And I didn't see it until like when I actually reviewed my old. I was like, I could have just done a single one. I mean, put it up a little higher if you wanted a higher base, but technically it's the same thing. All right, let's do some rest in peace. R.I.P. Where'd you go? There you are. No, I want you. There you are. Thank you, sweetie. Come here. Now you could easily just leave it rest in peace. Make sure that this is one of the fonts that is free for you on Cricut. There are some that are not, and you just have to be very mindful. It won't let you cut unless it is free. But since I'm not using this, it's perfectly fine. So here's the rest in peace. Now I wouldn't advise cutting through it because once you start removing pieces, you might lose the centerpiece of the R and the P, and that won't look very good. All right, what's next? I need a fence. This is the simplest way I can possibly think of for making this fence. Just elongating it, grabbing myself a triangle, and taking it off the lock like that. Let's get a little closer because this is going to get harder to see. All right, I'm going to put it right there and elongate it just a little bit. Good. Weld. Okay, and then of course just take off the top. Slice. And there we go. You got yourself a fence. So all you have to do is just line these up. Now I'm using the grid here to space these. You can make them just one block away. And you know what? For me, I'm going to do 2. Just space these 2 blocks away. You can make this as long or as short as you want. For me, for the tutorial purposes, this is as long as I'm going to do. Okay. Now you can get pretty creative with your fence. I mean, you can make a white picket fence after this. You can make a barnyard fence. But just by tweaking it just a little bit, it gives you more of a rickety look that goes with the Halloween theme. But either way, it still will look good as a barnyard fence, even looking like this. Let's weld. See? That looks pretty good, right? Let's move back just a little bit. And it's slightly different from the one on the top. This one's more white picket fence, as you can see. This is more Halloween style, which I was trying to go for the first time around. Let's make this a nice gray. Okay, good. Now we need some weeds growing out of this fence just to make it a little more realistic. Which I will be using these same weeds in our card. So all I'm doing is going to be creating a couple of crescents and slicing. Okay, I got 1 crescent. I got 2 crescents. I don't need this right here. And I'm just going to make this a little smaller. Take it off the lock. All right, like that. Let's make this a little tinier. Now it doesn't matter the way it looks like on the bottom, because we're slicing that stuff off. Kind of looks like a banana, honestly, after looking at it. All right, there are our weeds, and I'm just gonna go right there and slice. Look at that, got ourselves some weeds. I'm going to leave these guys black. And flip. Flip it. Why is this not flippy? Oh, because its flip is up here. There we go. We got some weeds. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty great. Alright, we got 2 tombstones. The first one is no different. You just grab yourself the coffin right here and just make it a little smaller. Take it off the log. And you just play with it until you're happy. Okay, there's my first tombstone. Oh, actually, I was doing this one right here. Just to give it a little bit more dimension, I'm going to use a circle to give it that rounded, tombstone-y look. There we go. Weld. All right, so we have 1. 2. All right, this one's pretty simple. You just plop it down and get it right in the middle. I can see it's not perfectly in the middle because there's giving me little points. Good, there you go. And weld. Now, I believe I put a cross on this one. Yes, I did. So I'm just going to make it slightly smaller. And I'm going to grab myself a square. Like that. And I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Okay. I think this is a little big. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit big. Alrighty. Let's weld this together. And make sure this is right in the center. Horizontally? Nope. Vertically? There we go. And weld. Alright. Those are our shapes. Those are our icons for this part 1. I mean, I have more icons coming your way. This is just one of many. If you wanted, you can grab yourself the RIP from right over here and stick it right on there. It's really up to you. But that's not what we're here for. We are here for, ta-da, this card right here. This is the same as this. Oh, not that. As this little guy. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that cute? Yes, it is. For Halloween, it is anyway. Alrighty. Let's get back to what we were doing. And the basis of our card is going to be a square, as always. And we're going to do some modifications to this. So we're just taking it off the lock, going up here to the size, and doing 8.5 by 5. And this should fit a standard A2 size card. Grab yourself a score line and just put it randomly anywhere. It doesn't really matter. And then what you're going to do is go over to center. This is going to plop it right in the middle. Now I can see it's not touching all the way to the top, so I'm just going to scoot it up a little bit. Just a little bit more. There you go. And then drag it down. There we go. Now you want to attach this. If you do not attach this, when you go to make it, it will give you a wonky line. Let me give you an example. Let me detach. It's detached. See? Your score line is on one page. Why this happens, I don't know. It's super weird. So to prevent that, all you got to do, highlight everything and attach. Don't group it because it's not going to work. Alrighty. Next, I'm going to do the inside of it. Now, this layer and this layer are exactly the same. It makes it a whole lot easier, especially when you're trying to do this. So I'm going to take this off the lock. I am going to go for number 1 here and do 4 inches by 4.75. And I'm going to change this to white and put that right over here. Duplicate it. So this is going to be the inside layer and this is your outside layer. Now I'm going to change this orange because that's going to be the representation of my pattern paper. Okay, now getting to the little nitty-gritty here. All right, for my circle, I'm not going to do anything much other than leave it the way it is. I'm leaving it 3.111. It's the first time ever that I'm just leaving the circle as it is. And I'm just going to plop it right here. I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to put this at the bottom. So just in case I mess up, I'm going to duplicate this right over here. Bring this to the front. And I'm going to change this to black. Good. And I'm going to take it off the lock because I want this to have an arch. Like that. All it's doing is giving me that nice little arch right there. All right, I'm going to select everything and slice. There we go. I think I got a little bit more height on this one than I did on this one. No, it looks about this. No, this one has a little more height. All right, I'm going to put that right there. Good. Now I'm going to grab myself some tombstones. I'm going to grab this one right here and this one right here. Wait, are you together? Yeah, apparently I did. Put that right there. Alrighty. Let's take these guys over here to the front. Front. And we're going to resize these to the size of our card. These are a little too big. Alright. Now for me, I'm just adjusting this slightly to the size that I want. Okay, I want it like that. This guy, I want it just a little bit like this. And I have a couple of, just like a cross right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to make myself a tiny little cross. But with this one, I put a circle right in the middle. After going online for a little bit, I've looked at a couple of references for crosses to see what they would look like on a gravestone, and this is what I found. And I kind of like the way it looked. Very gothic. Alright, let's make this in the middle. Maybe just center. Yeah. Let's move you up just a hair. There we go. Just a hair. Grab myself a circle. And okay, let's make sure that this is in the center because I know myself. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to grab my circle and the other one and move it up just a tad. There we go. And weld. All right. I'm going to move it sideways. It's a little big. There we go. Now, I'm going to go over here. Hey. Oh, I took down the ones that are on the bottom. That's fine. All right. Grab myself some grass. And all I'm going to do is just add it to my card. I'm going to try to make it not go outside this orange border right here. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Now keep in mind with you don't want to have too many gaps right here because that's what your machine is going to have to go cut through. All right, can I flip you? Yes, I can. There we go. That's my first one. Put one right over here. Let's flip you one more time. Okay. Ooh, I moved you out of the frame. So I was trying to get this little piece right here. Now, I don't want any of these touching, so what I'm going to do is just going to bring this guy down just a little bit, like that. And flip this one more time. There we go. So let's remove the theme of the moon, the orange pattern, the white pattern, and of course the card in the back. And all I'm going to do is weld everything. Now, I haven't shown you how to make the bats yet. I just realized this. And put that right there. Good, good. My graveyard's looking pretty nice. All right, my bats. Nothing but circles. That's all it is. Nothing but circles. So my first circle, let me keep one right over here. First circle, I'm just going to make the little ears of my bat and the feet. Now, you don't have to put them perpendicular. You can have them to the side, to the left. It doesn't really matter. The more creative it looks, the better it is for you. But I'm a stickler for being, you know, everything has to be perpendicular or centered properly in some way or another. All right. This won't slice unless I select this and weld it together. Here we go, and slice. Don't need this, or this. And I have almost like a cookie cutout or an apple shape. Now, to make it a little bit more bat-like, I'm going to take it off the lock and elongate it just a little bit. Just like that. And put this right over here. All right. I have this circle, and all I'm going to do is just make big and small circles just to indicate like a bat wing. There we go, like that. And of course I can't do anything unless I weld everything together and slice. Perfect. There's my wing. Okay, grab my first bat. I mean my body. And of course I need to flip this. It's not going to show it over here. Okay. Let's make sure that these are centered properly. Now this is for my benefit. That doesn't look too good. There we go. Alright, and weld. Alright, there we go. We got ourselves a little bat. We just have to resize this so it could fit into our card. Alrighty. And I still think that it's a little too big because I could see that my body's a little smaller and my wings are a little bit bigger. So let's go back a notch. Where are you? Okay, let's make the body a little smaller. All right. Weld. That looks a little better. Yeah, that looks adorable now. Little adorable bat. Okay. I'm going to put one right here. One right here. You can make these slightly smaller just to give it dimension that it's actually further away. And of course I need some inside my card. One right here and one right here. Now, before you cut anything, I have to let you know you have a lot of colors here, and your machine will break it down depending on the colors. So I don't want these to be a light black. I want this to be black completely. Oh yeah, it won't let me do that because there's a score line. I need to go actually to the square and change the color to black. There we go. Now all these little pieces, I have to change black, otherwise it's gonna change it to a different color. It's gonna see, oh, you have a different type of black. Okay, I'm gonna put this on a different mat. And there you go. You have yourself your card from start to finish. Let's see now, which one of these looks better? I kind of like the cross on this one. It took a little bit more time, although this tombstone looks a little bit better. So, the bats look the same actually. Exactly the same. You know what? I'm going to go with this one up here. Alrighty, and then we take all of these out. I don't need any of these except for my card. Now don't worry if you save everything before you leave. All of your progress will save, but if you actually head out, like if you close out and not save any of this, then you're going to have some problems. And I notice that this is not black. There we go. Are you guys black? Let's make a quick assessment here. Yes, all of you are black. All right, let's get to cutting. All right, my very first one is white. All right, I'm going to the mat. And I'm going to try to use my scrap here. I really want to use all of my scraps. And this is a perfect way to use your scraps. Just make sure that it's measured properly and everything is, you know, you have enough width and height for your design. And yes, I am using painter's tape. My mat is not sticky. And I'm going to have some trouble already with my bats because they're so stinking small. I'm afraid they're going to move all over the place. Okay. Wait. Before I do, it's asking me something that I didn't notice. Okay, it says, does this look good? Yes. Is this optimized properly? No, it is not. Let me move all of these. I really wish for my black, it gave me a lighter gray, and so I can see that all my black is on here. Okay, so it's just going 8.5 by 9, which is perfect. It's fine. No, it's not fine because my thing is 8.5 by 11. Interesting. And this is past, you know what? It's going to cut off a smidge. It's just a smidge. Or I can resize everything. You know what? I'm not going to worry. I'm not. Alright, everything else looks good. This is going to cut off a smidge off the bottom of here. And it's not going to hurt my card. Not really. But if I move it up any higher, it's going to cut through here. And I don't want that. Okay, it's fine. That or I resize. It's really up to you. If you have like a 12 by 12 page, great. If you do not, you may want to resize. All right, let's continue and go to the white on the top here. And it's asking me, hey, you can cut. Thank you, Cricut. I'm ready to cut. Oh, and you can't see a thing. All right, cut. And you can see up here, right here, it's at 100%. That means it's almost done. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, so far so good. Okay, got our white. This goes inside of our card, so I am not going to do anything to it other than just plop it in there. Now, I don't need any of this. I am completely done with my white. Alright, next is black. Now, I may regret not resizing this. Okay, so this is going 8.5. Oh, so this is going to be fine because this card is 8.5. Alright. I was worrying over nothing. Maybe. Possibly. Okay. Posible. Alright, I'm going to make sure that this isn't going to move anywhere because there is a lot. And I mean a lot going on this black. And I know my mat is not sticky, but I'm hoping it's not going to go anywhere. All right. All right, it is asking for my score helper thingy. So I'm going to put my score thingy in first. You have no idea how many times I've actually scored through my card because, cut through my card because I didn't read. Okay, you are done. It's telling me, hey, it's time for you to cut. Sure. Please, please don't let this cut wonky. There's a lot going on this card. On this black. All right, it's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. Oh no! It cut it short. Because this is 8. Yeah. I'm gonna have to recut this. Oh no! Oh no! Yep. Okay. Yeah, this thing is... Well. I have a card now. It's scored incorrectly, but I can adjust that to fit. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, I still have this piece right here, which I will use for something else. Okay. This is why I have more black. For this very same reason. I would rather have a full length card done properly. I know this is not going to help, but you know what? It makes me feel better. All right. There we go. Alrighty. Don't be an absent-minded crafter like myself. If you know it's not going to fit, just go back, resize it. Sure, it's going to be a tad smaller. But if you don't have the paper for it and all you have is 8.5 by 11s, it's better to have it resized. Alright, let's do this again. And it's asking me to score. It's a good thing I read that. That would have been bad. I would have been going through another piece of black. Alright, good. Nice job. Perfect. Here we go. Yeah, it's going to cut a smidge off of here. And I'd rather have it here than on the card. Because all of my dimensions are relying on the size of the card. Please. Thank you. Okay, well, for this particular card, all I have to do is fold it. And instead of using the score line that it gives me, I'm just going to score it with my bone folder. And I'll use this for a different card. So far, so good. Yeah, it's just going to cut off a smidge down here, and that's fine. Yeah, see? Just a smidge at the bottom. Nothing too big. Alright, it's almost done. Good, good, good. I'm at 72%. And I'm at 100%. Alright, let's see how this came out. So far, I don't see any kind of discrepancies, any kind of weirdness. Look at that. Oh, that came out nice. Yeah, it's just a small little smidge at the bottom. Not a big deal. Nothing like the card itself. Okay. Come on now. Put that over here. Take off this. Take off this. Okay. Ah, I have something on my hand. Okay, I have myself some bats. Good, good. I'm not going to try to lose those. There's a tiny. But I have my card, and it came out pretty well. It doesn't look like it wants to bend this way. Yeah. Alright. All I'm doing is just bone folding it. Good. Perfect. Amazing. Alright. I have this. I have this. Now for my pattern paper. Oh, I love this pattern paper. I got this a couple of years ago in a paper stack. I want to say it's Recollections since, you know, Recollections is my bae. I totally love everything that's Recollections, but I cannot confirm it. I just cannot. I know you guys probably have seen this like time and time again, this pattern paper when it first came out, but now I can't really recall what it was called. I want to say it's Recollections, but I can't even tell you the year it was, because Recollections comes with a new paper pattern every year. Alrighty, good, 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 and cut. Oh, that's good. Now I'm going to do very minimal shading to this. I'm not shading this, and I'm definitely not shading the inside. Oh yeah, look at that. And at first I was like, ooh, I really like the inside too, the opposite side. But once I put the sun, or not the sun, the moon next to it, it had to be this side. The colors remind me of a sunset. Not only that, but it's very Halloween-y. Okay. I still have some areas here that I could use, so I'm not tossing this. Okay, putting this right over here, just like so, and then I'm going to grab my yellow. And all I'm doing, and yes, you can see I've been using this yellow quite a bit for other projects. And I thought, hey, I still got a spot. I can use this spot right here. All right. All right, there we go. If everything goes well, I should have everything I need to assemble my card. Perfecto. Yes. Alrighty. I have all of my elements. All of them. Okay. Let's move everything out of here. Like so. Let me move you just a tad. Now, the stamps that I'm working with, they are from Amazon. I'm going to be putting descriptions in the link below on YouTube. This one says, everyone needs a friend like you, and hello friend. Yes, these are not Halloween greetings, but I wanted to make it for a friend, you know, to send the Halloween greeting to a friend. And these hands came with along with some feet and tinier hands. And originally when I got them, they were for like tooth fairy kind of hands to mimic them trailing, you know, like the feet and little handprints on where they touched the, you know, where they put their hands for my kids when they were little, like little. And I thought, you know, this would make a great creepy accent to my card. And that's where I got the hands from, right here. So let's assemble everything. So I'm not going to do really much anything to this right here. I will put a little bit, just a tiny touch. So I'm just going to grab my black, my brown, and go around it, just giving it a tiny shade. Now if you get some grit on there, that's fine. I mean, this pattern right here is pretty gritty. There we go. Let me close this up. Let's get started. Alright, let's make sure this is going the right direction, because I think I did it the opposite direction for this one. Nope, I didn't. Alright, I'm going to open this up, grab myself some tape. You can use glue if you want, but I find that glue tends to be very bumpy, and when it dries, it kind of leaves little pockets and heart spots, and kind of warps your card just a little bit. So I'm just going to add a little double-sided tape. Come on now. I'll lift this up a little. Good. Yay. All right. All right. Okay, I want to make sure this is right on the... Ah! You keep moving. Why? Why for you move? All right. Hopefully I can get this as centered as I wanted. There we go. Alright. Did I do anything in the inside? No, I didn't. All I did is I just added one bat. There you go. One bat. Use this one right here. Right here. And for this I will be adding glue. I'm not too worried about this having bumps, because it's really super tiny and it's not going to be showing up. Alright. No. Alright, let's flip this over, because this is not completely dry yet and I don't want it sticking to my card. Let's flip that. Alright. And I kind of like the grittiness up here, so I'm going to put it right there. And yes, I tried both sides. I was like, which one looks better? This one and this one. And to be honest, I had a hard time until I said, you know what? No, I'm going to go with this. I'm loving the oranges. I'm loving the other colors. All right. Dedicated. Hey, Dedicated. How's it going? Did you see the layout? Doesn't it? It does look good. Did you get the layout that I sent you? Or did Dev sent you? It was pretty basic. So I hope you liked your layout that I created. Alright, let's see. I can change it up if you want. You're not dedicated, Devlin. I was asking, ooh, it's slightly centered off. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Where's my black? Where's my tombstone? Tombstone, did you... Oh, it's on the floor. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my moon. Let's see, where do I want this? See, that little smidge that got cut off, it's not going to make a difference. It really is not. Kind of want it right there. So, where is it? Right? Yes, the speech to talk. He is a bit British, but I like him better than the female version. I don't know why, but she's just a little bit annoying to my ears. That or probably just like British men talking to me. Devlin A4. Oh, no, I do like women. It's just, I find the British male voice a little more enticing. Makes me feel pretty good, I guess. Thank you for asking. Alright, I'm going to put some double little, what do you got it, foamy tape? Yeah, little foamy tape. Now this is just the leftover remnants from the circles that I had. And all I'm doing is just placing them on here. Ooh, it's sticking to me. Stop sticking. Oh, I lost it. Oh. That's my fault. It just went flying. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to put just a tad. Alright. Right here. And I kind of want to put just a small one right here, just so it props itself up. But I don't want to have it show up. Nope. No. Nope. There we go. Alright, all I'm doing now is just taking off the other side, so now it's nice and sticky. Sticky! How you doing, Dedicated? You working? Working hard or hardly working? Ooh, snap. I got ahead of myself. I didn't put my stamp on here. Well, I'm going to have to take these off carefully. This is what I do when I get ahead of myself. There we go. Yeah. I hear that a lot. It's going to be a long day. All right. I'm going to put one of my handprints right there. One of my pen prints right here. And my hello friend. It's going to go right there. Now all I have to do now is just line everything up. There we go. And then it's going to flip over just like that. And I need my white. And I just recently learned this from my crafty friends. What is it called? My craft group. They said don't do it the opposite direction because you might actually get unnecessary contamination on your block and you don't want that to touch. I'm like, yeah. Oh, it's so goopy. I love it. So goopy. Okay, I'm going to put this right on the line right there. And oh no. My hands are I just realized my hands on this are too big. Yep. Oh. Yep, they're just too big. I should have just done this one at a time. Now I'm going to get contamination. Alright, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Alright, I need wipies! Although this one's showing up a lot more than my previous one. That's because I couldn't find my white until just a few days ago. As I was cleaning, I'm like, oh, there you are. I don't remember how you got here, but I'm glad I found you. Isn't that funny? When you're actually cleaning, you don't remember how it got to that specific spot. But you're grateful that you actually found it. And then it makes you ponder, how did you get all the way over there? Okay. Where's my other one? Here it is. Clean off my block. It's always the why that bothers me. I'm like, how? Or the how. It's like, how did you get there? Why were you over there? Okay. Got my little hands. Let me clean my block properly. Put you right over here. Hello, friend. Now, I'm not done making this all spookified. I'm not done with this yet, but I'm going to let it dry for just a second. And I'm going to open up my card. And I'm going to do what I did here in here. I'm going to use my pumpkin color right there. Now you could go a little more spooky if you want. You can bring out the hands again and put a little red if you wanted to, but I wanted to keep this very light-hearted. I'm going to add some orange, so give it a nice little contrast. Okay. Alright. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be very centered with this. Alright, there we go. Ooh, you look so pretty. Where's my wipey? Wipey! Oh, there you are. I'll put you right over here. Clean you off. Everyone needs a friend like you. And I think that's perfect for a Halloween card. Especially one that's coming from a cemetery. Okay, so I used just a normal stamp, an everyday stamp. And I turned it into a Halloween card. Okay. Before I put these little stickies right back on here. Grabbing my little gel pen here. And all I am doing is I'm going to add a bit of accent. But before I do, because I don't want it to touch the bottom here. Okay, I'm going to use this. Okay. And all I'm going to do is just going to go around certain areas to mimic the light of the moon on them. I'm not going to go all the way around. It's just a little bit. You kind of need something behind it so you don't mess up with your mat. All right. And I'm just going to do a little bit the tips of my grass here. Okay, for this one, just do this right here and do this inward, inward, and I'm just going to touch the tips of these. That's it. Ah, I just dropped my block. All right. Now, how does that work with my card? Alrighty. See, it gives it a little bit more of a pop. Hey, come back here. If you notice, it just makes it pop just a little bit more. Now, I went a little bit further, and all I did was just draw a bit of faces onto the tombstone. You can do whatever face you want. And this one, I did more like a Gengar looking face. If you don't know what a Gengar is, look at Pokemon Gengar. And he has this kind of scary looking face. And I'm just gonna go down, up, straight, down, up, and then line. Alrighty. And do the same thing for the bottom. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, perfect. Just need to let that dry just a little bit. Okay, good. I'm going to turn this around now. Now you can put pop dots on here. Don't be a me. Okay. Ah, don't stick to me. All right. And all I'm doing is just making sure this touches the bottom. Oh yeah. And to think, you made this, you're going to be able to make this using nothing more than basic shapes on your Cricut. Okay, let's get the glue out and stick on some of these bats. I have one out here, right there, one right here, and one up here. And I even put little eyes on the bats themselves. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you want to just leave them the way they are, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to put one right here. And one right here. Good. Let me just turn this just slightly like that. And I kind of give them the same kind of shading on their wings And give them some eyes. And just do a little shading here. Nothing too major, it's just a little shading. Okay. There we go. All done. Look at that. Look at this cute little Halloween card that you can do yourself using stamps that you have at home, like Hello Friend. I'm sure you have a Hello Friend, or you could even type it up, Hello Friend, put it right on there. Pardon me. And then you have Everybody Needs a Friend Like You. Perfect for Halloween. The sentiment is not scary, but with all the elements, you know, together, it kind of makes it a little creepy, and I like it. So this is my second one, and here's my first. And as you can tell, they're nearly identical, except for this one. This is a tiny bit smaller, and I think I did that as my tester. Now that I remember, I made it tiny, a little bit smaller, because I of course I had to correct it to make sure it would fit under my black. But I thought, you know what, it's just gonna cut a smidge, and it's not that big of a difference. Now you have your standard A2 size card, and of course you can make it slightly smaller. But even so, look at both of them are exactly the same. Thank you so much for stopping on by. I do appreciate it. Give me just a second, because I'm going to be doing some more stuff here on stream. But for YouTube, thank you for stopping on by. You have a good day. Bye.